ready for the 6-ton monsters to hit the water at 200 miles per hour. Welcome to Speed Week. Today we head to Mooloolaba on the Sunshine Coast for the penultimate round of the Club Marine offshore powerboats. We bring you the Daring Dynamos from round 2 of the Falken Tyres Mirage series at Wakefield Park. Then the Handlebar Heroes from the Yamaha Formula Extreme Superstocks. We check out the young talent on offer as the Ford Kartstar series kicks off for the year at Rally. And we look at a team who's helping those karters hit the big time. First up, let's go to Mooloolaba for the offshore powerboats.
Yeah, the fields have grown enormously. Here's the points as we go into round 2. Peter Lemus leads from Grant Park with 48. Adam Beachy back to Giannis Derhams, Richard Gartner, Michael Conacher, David Borg and Martin Bailey, who rounds out the top 8. Now, Peter Lemus is having a day out. Yesterday, he scored victory in race 1, and he's pretty happy about the whole affair as we come into race 2 here today.
Good day yesterday. We had the car in A1 shape. I managed to get pole through some, I think the closest time was 2 1,000ths of a second off the pace, but it was really good to get pole, and then I led that first race from start to finish. It's the first time I've done that, so it was a really good feeling. So I'm starting to get there.
Now, the young man that was unable to compete in round 1 because he rolled the transport and the race car en route to Tasmania is Troy Hunt. Hunt was back and in the hunt for a race win yesterday here at Wakefield. Let's catch up with him and find out what happened yesterday in race 1.
And we had a technical problem, so we had to start from rear of the grid in that one, but I just took my time. We got through to second and set the fastest lap, so that was the main thing. The car was better than qualifying, but it still wasn't right, so we knew we had to work on it then for the second race, but we got out of there carnage free, so that's the main thing.
Yes, I don't think that man's going to be happy with anything but the race win in every situation. As we now go to the grid, good crowd in the house. Rocco Ronaldo on the front row, bearing in mind Grant Boyden, this is a reverse grid race from the way they started in race 1.
Yeah, always exciting when we see reverse grid in this class. Alford, Bailey, Armand. Then we go to John Grounds in 5th, Cook in 6th, Derrans and Beachy round out the top 8. Nice field.
Good to have a couple of Donut King cars in this particular lineup. One of them you see right in the front row there. Ronaldo takes off on the line as this big field of Mirages, haven't they grown in numbers, as Adam Beachy peels out. We're on board with Giannis Derhams today in the Maxi Steel number 66 as we close in on one of the Donut King cars. Boydo, the Mirage numbers are going through the roof.
Yeah, bright and early at the moment. It's very early in the morning, about 9 o'clock, and the track is very, very cold this morning, so they'll have to take it easy on this first lap.
Greg Doyle on the Pier Restaurant entry, closing in now on young Brendan Cook. Paul Doyley not wasting any time at all. This is his first run for the year, and he's looking to get straight into the swing of it.
Well, he really wants to make an impression. Yesterday, he and Francois Joy were walking around the back of the pit saying, hey, this is a great day. Then realised they were supposed to be on the racetrack. They missed the first race, so
you can't
they've pumped up those two.
There's the Donut King Mitsubishi Mirage Precision Driving Team by the looks of things. Look at this. You're not getting by us. No way.
Look, there's a hole in the centre.
No, yes, if you can just split through the middle of the hole in the centre, you'll be right. Meanwhile, how about Rocco Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Doing a good job here.
Yeah, look, we've seen it in the past where the guys in reverse grid races, look at them all come down into turn 1. Reverse grid races are able to pull away, but once the rest of the field catch up with them, it all falls apart. Let's see if Ronaldo can keep it together.
I think that we just saw Keen Booker further back in the field there as well, with the car that is one colour on one side, another colour completely on the other. The dealer principal.
Got to learn 2 cars there.
Fair enough. Into 2 cars if you like. How about this guy? Rocco doing a great job. Back to Martin Bailey, having a pretty good run. And the first of the Donut King cars. Isn't it great to have the Donut King cars involved? They're even on the signage on the side of the circuit. They're everywhere, the Donut Kings.
Look at this battle just up ahead of Greg Doyle. Quite a few drivers all trying to sort themselves in these opening couple of laps. And Troy Hunt's made up quite a few positions too.
Likewise, Grant Park right there just ahead of us here. There's a good little scrap going on right now. You see the Pier Restaurant car of Doyle trying to stay in touch with this bunch. And Park, the teenager, impatient as always.
We should point out in yesterday's race, Park and Hunt had a very big coming together, so don't expect this to be friendly out on the track here this morning.
Well, so far, Rocco Ronaldo is still hanging on to the lead, doing a heck of a job. Bailey back there in the second spot. The Donut King entry The third one through. Grounds and Alford, the two Donut King cars we're seeing ahead today. And Giannis Derham, the Maxi Steelman, ahead of Beachy. First time out of Tasmania in the Mirage Series. And these Falken Tyres holding on nicely, GB.
Yeah, Adam Beachy's really impressed this week, and he's been right up the front of the field. There he is, car 60 goes screaming past the start-finish line. And look at him giving Giannis Derham's plenty to think about down into turn 1.
And you could say, really, that Doyle and Francois Jouy in particular are having a much greater impact on this race now that they're actually in it.
Yes, and they certainly are. They're having a lot more fun too. On board with Giannis Derham, Scott Beachy sitting right behind him. That's John Grounds just up in front, third position.
Grounds is not taking any time at all to settle in, is he? He's just bolted straight into the top 3. Race 2 of the weekend, race 1 of our coverage. Someone's had an off. By the looks of things, that's not a willy-willy in the distance. It's someone gone off the circuit.
A big brake lock up there, coming down into the left-hander.
It's good to see Martin Bailey's got his steely resolve back after going upside down at Sandown last year. It rattled his cage a bit, Boydo.
And as it would, it's a scary moment, rolling any type of car.
Well, look at Derham's weaving in and out, trying to find a run up the inside. And we did see Troy Hunt starting to figure in this one as well.
Oh, Bailey takes a tight line.
Not quite as tight as Grounds.
Grounds absolutely nailed it. He's got a bit of experience behind the wheel of a race car and saw what was going to happen there and tried to do the old crisscross, and it paid off.
See, look at the speed that Doyle's carrying here. He's got Lemus to the right. He's got Armand to the left. Oh, it's mixed nuts as we go into turn 1.
Bit of smoke coming from the right-hand front tyre of Armand's car too, so hopefully that's not going to play into this as the race continues.
Oh, Hunt arrives on the scene and goes by Derham.
And just does it so easily, doesn't he? What a great young talent this guy is.
An amazing go-kart racer, and let's face it, this is the next step in the evolution, apart from open wheel racing, for these guys to follow. So at the moment, Grounds doing an excellent job. Beachy closing in, and Hunt glued to the tail. Where is Grant Park? Haven't seen him yet.
Well, he's fallen off the tail of Hunt, who's on a bit of a charge at the moment. Watch his car, the Eastern Creek Karting Raceway entry, as it goes through the turns. You can see the back of the car just slides through the turns. That gets rid of any understeer problems. So does running into the side of a car too.
That got rid of the understeer problems, didn't it? Derham's almost off the circuit. Him and Hunt, it's getting a little bit cranky there.
Look at that for a tight line from Bailey.
Oh, 3 wide. Hello, and Hunt somehow comes out of it okay. Big. This is big.
Unbelievable. Great result for him.
3 and 4 wide down the straightaway, Boydo. We've never seen Mirage racing like this.
Would you think of the luck stakes? Would you try a manoeuvre like that? Hunt is blessed.
Not on skateboards out there. That is just amazing. He comes through unscathed. So too does Derham's, who I think grew a couple of inches because he followed Hunt smooth through there. There is the Playtronic entry of the Minister for Enthusiasm, Richard Gartner, the Playtronic number 5, and Beachy, this young fella Beachy, is a talent.
Oh yeah, and he's giving Giannis Derham's plenty to think about. Looks up the inside, big hit, puts Derham's around and out onto the dirt. He won't be happy with that.
Can I just withdraw my comment about Beachy being a talent? He's a bruiser. He's a knuckle man.
Here comes Grant Park into the battle. Greg Toyle taking the long way round down through the sweep, and door shut by Bailey.
Yes, absolutely. Let's take a look back here. And this is... well, crunch. No, he certainly didn't look like he was going to break in time. I was going to say, Giannis came in way too hot into the corner, but no, I think that was a foul.
Well, he made it to the B pillar. He put it in the passenger seat.
Yeah, that's right. He wanted to be the pillar. Meanwhile, how about Rocco Ronaldo? I would think this would be Rocco's first win if he could hold on.
Would be. Curving him through the final turn like Beckham at the moment.
Yes, pinning it like Beckham. Look at this. Oh, look out. Headlights, indicators, wipers, the whole lot. Doyle is closing in.
Whoa.
See, the handicapping's worked beautifully here. Now we see Park coming through.
Well, Richard Gartner copying a fair bit through that turn as well.
Can I just put my hand up and say, I want more reverse grid racing? This is fantastic. It's like watching a sprint car, mate. All the fast guys down the back.
Have a look at this. Is this the first lap?
It looks like, whoa, Doyle weaves in, looking to pick up Lemus. Just misses him as he goes over the ripple strips. And let me tell you, at Wakefield, you've got to be careful of those curbs. They can eat your rims and tyres.
Ooh, Richard Gartner a bit slow through that section of the track. There's Francois Joy in a battle of his own. Keen Booker having a look at the back of his too. Car number 69, Booker's in.
Francois' car doesn't quite stand out like it did last year. It sort of melts into the pack a little bit. You're watching round 2 of the Falken Tyres Mitsubishi Mirage Cup, and Rocco Ronaldo sounds like an international soccer star. He's looking to put one through the back of the net right now in winning race 2, but Hunt is closing in. He goes for grounds. Come on, Rocco. Hold on, son.
It'd be great to see if he could take up the victory. Look at the battle for second. Grounds hung out to dry in the final turn, and Troy Hunt, the youngster, picks up another spot.
Rocco Ronaldo speeding towards the start-finish line with Hunt closing in over grounds in the 3rd spot. Oh, Rocco, he doesn't need more laps, he needs less, because Hunt seems to have enough time up his sleeve, Boydo.
Look at the way he just slid through the kink there. Just car in a beautiful controlled 4-wheel drift. He's charging at the moment, and as much as you'd want to chew home Rocco Ronaldo, look at the man right behind him. You know he's got to get him somewhere. Right now, straight up the inside, new race leader.
It's lucky he's not pacing himself. just pick the line and straight through.
And don't forget, he was on pole position, which meant he started from complete rear of the grid, so he's gone from the rear all the way to the lead. A great drive.
Now, I did hear a rumour that it was almost an illegal manoeuvre buying this car. I heard they stole it. I'm only guessing, but I did hear figures of around about 15 grand. Now, if that's true, if that's not the cheapest form of motorsport outside go-kart racing, I don't know what is.
Surely that has to be the deposit.
15 grand is all they paid, and it's leading. It set second quick time yesterday. He's just a gun, admittedly, but this is a great cost-effective means of getting your rocks off.
Well, now John Grounds has seen that you can pass Rocco Ronaldo. He's come right up onto the rear of that car and is trying to have a bit of a look coming down the main straight. Will he be brave enough to have a go into the kink? They come down to that section of the track now. Yeah, side by side, both of them sliding across the track. Grounds down the inside. That's tight.
You know what he did? He actually waved a chocolate top donut at the rear vision mirror of Rocco Ronaldo going in the corner. You want this?
Distressed.
20 more where this comes from. Straight through.
You can understand why it's
absolutely. But a bit of pineapple top, deal's done. Look at this run from Rocco Ronaldo. He's going to be very happy about this. First time we've really seen him up the front of the field. It was a reverse grid starting order, an interesting new concept, and we can now see closing in the distance Grant Park, the teenage rager, closing in about 4th spot.
Just watching John Grounds through those last couple of turns, he's starting to look really racy too. He's worked out how to get these cars around the circuit in a quick way. You see the back of the car just sliding through the corners. Now he's found a second wind, if you like.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say too much about this, but I've heard some very, very exciting changes that could possibly be in the wind for this championship next year. I'm talking about silhouette styling, so you never know. This series could be on the up and up even further. Right now, Falken Tyres behind him, and the rest of the field. Oh, Doyle!
Oh, look at this!
Look out! No! I don't think the Minister for Enthusiasm missed the sign. I think Doyle did. I think at the moment Richard Gardner's going, it's a sign, it's a sign.
It's a sign all over the front of my car.
Drilled it.
Let's have watch the replay.
Oh.
Bang! Oh, that's a big hit too, Richard.
Richard got into him, I think. Now, Doyle recovers it nicely. What you got to remember, Boydo, is just on the other side. Richard Gardner's on the right-hand side there. Boom! Oh, no. 7th sport. He copped it big time.
Time to spend some more money with signage out there.
Grounds doing the job. That's what you call advertising with impact, Boydo.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Hunt is clearing out. This young man, very talented, missed the opening round because he rolled the race car and the transporter. And I'm told it was a frightening incident with Gary the Growler Young's car on the way to Wakefield as well. So these are errant little things, aren't they?
Yes, they certainly find the controversy. You think if Hunt's had problem with the car rolling before he even got to the track. Ronaldo out onto the dirt, lets Grant Park with a very easy overtaking manoeuvre now, gets up into 3rd position.
I wonder whether Rocco's struggling a little bit with his motivation here. He's drifted back to 3rd, now 4th, and let Park through very easy.
Probably a bit frustrated, led this race for so long, and then once he was overtaken by the race leader, sort of thought, well, you know, it's all being thrown away, and probably just a bit hard on himself at the moment.
I think we've all seen it before, haven't we, in any form of motorsport. Once someone gets run by, they've led a couple laps and they get past, very difficult to maintain the intensity. This bloke, he is hungry. I don't think he wants to win this championship. I think he wants to dominate it.
Well, Kurt Beater's here this weekend purely as an observer, raced in the series last year, and we've seen him in reverse grid format suffer the same problems that Ronaldo has. Incidentally, Kurt says he's coming back into the series. He says if the Donut Kings are out there, we need another pastry chef.
Oh, absolutely. When you think about the battles in the V8 Brute racing between the respective pet foods, the Carrera Patisserie car and the Donut King cars, it's going to be on.
Oh, it'll be custard.
Here comes Hunt, steaming towards victory lane. Giannis, he's been in the walls, hasn't he?
He copped it hard that time, I think. He'll find well out into the dirt. Managed to get it back onto the track. Only lost the one spot, so well done to Giannis there.
Yes, look at the lead that Hunt has built up now. This is a beautiful circuit, let me tell you. TV does it no justice. It's such a picturesque place, set almost on the side of a hill, and it's just beautiful.
The talent of this young guy on the final lap at the moment. It's a tight battle. Nothing in his revision mirror, and he's come from the rear of the grid. Is a huge performance.
Nothing in the rear vision mirror but the Goulburn landscape, really, because he's got a massive lead up his sleeve. Park, to his credit, has come through. Lemus has not had the best of runs. Pete, who scored victory yesterday, starting on the front row and going start to finish, but it's a long way back in this one in terms of where he'd like to be, as Hunt is throwing down a challenge. Bearing in mind, Boydo, Hunt's going to make up one lost round.
Yeah, he's cruising at the moment, not holding too tight a race line, looking after the tyres of the car, looking after the car itself. Up into the final turn he comes. Still a battle further back in the field. Nice little dice here between car 18. Grant Park, the youngster, down the inside in the final turn.
Oh, got grounds with a very little ground left as he comes back to the main straightaway. So the youngsters in the end triumph. The kids running amok here at Wakefield. Hunt getting the win over Park narrowly from grounds. He was pretty well dragged, streamlined by a donut. Back there in the 4th position in the end.
Peter Lemus.
Yeah, Lemus. So he did manage to get himself a bit further up the order. Well done, Rocco. The North Shore Mitsubishi entry to Beachy, who was in the wars. Francois and Michael Arlen.
We took it quite easy at first. I've actually lost 2-3 positions going up the hill, and I just bided my time and picked the right spots. And I think with about 4 or 5 laps to go, we're in the lead, and I pulled a gap, and then I just said to the mechanics we'd hold that. And with about 3 laps to go, I thought I'd give it a go again just to make sure the car would still stay on for the whole distance. And we set the fastest lap then, and with went another 2 or 3 tenths faster. So that race was good, and again, no damage, so it was great.
There's a lot of guys out there sort of racing really hard, so they're biffing and bashing panels, and you got to try not to get caught up in it. So you got to sort of make a hole for yourself, and sometimes they try and shut the door pretty quick. So you got to take some risky moves, but we managed to get through pretty good.
Man, there was some carnage in there, so I had to deal with a couple of cars that spun out and across the track, and I've run into them, lost a couple of spots. And young Troy Hunt, geez, he's good. So I'll learn a few things off him again in that race. So I'll pick them up and take them to Queensland with me.
Yes, Peter, but what are you going to do about this young fella? Very much the fly in the ointment. He might have given the rest of the field a full round head start, but geez, who knows what he's capable of. Lemus currently leads by 22 points over Grant Park from Beachy, Gardner, Derhams, and as you see, Hunt is already on the leaderboard with 6th. Michael Conacher and John Grounds round out the field. Now, we're going to show you race 3 of the weekend on next week's program. Look forward to it. It's an absolute blinder. There'll be more Falken Tyres Mitsubishi Mirage Cup on next week's program. After the break, though, we're going to go back
From round 2 of the Shell Advanced Superbike Series. And we watch the Pocket Rockets from the Falken Tyres Mirage Series as they tackle the tight turns of Wakefield Park. First up, grab your beach towel.
the track at Wakefield Park. G'day folks, great to have your company here at the Wakefield Park near Goulburn in New South Wales for round 2 of the Falken Tyres Mitsubishi Mirage Cup. It's race 3 for the weekend of round 2. And let me tell you, chock-a-block field and some awesome racing. Points after round 2, Grant Boyden, look like this.
Peter Lemus leads the way over Grant Park. Adam Beachy in 3rd position, then Gardner, Derhams and Hunt round out the top 6. Nice tight battle for the lead though.
Yes, Michael Conacher and Johnny Grounds rounding out the 8 there. There's a good field of drivers. Let's take a look at them now. Troy Hunt, Grant Park, John Grounds, Peter Lemus.
Then we go to Ronaldo, Beachy, Francois Joy and Michael Armand rounds out the top 8.
So it's going to be a blinder. Hunt and Park, the 2 youngsters on the front row. John Grounds, the Johnny-come-lately of racing in the Donut King car, alongside Peter Lemus, the current series leader. We're green, we're off and racing with an excellent field of Mirages.
Current series leader in a battle at the moment, but the front 2, the young guns, have a go at Richard Gardner, wasting no time in getting stuck into it.
Well, he didn't hesitate, did he?
Oh.
The man we call the Minister for Enthusiasm. He's taking on Francois Jouy as well.
And Grant Park's got the lead in front of his adversary, Troy Hunt. A nice little dice beginning early between these 2 youngsters.
Oh, look at this. Doyle up the inside on...
Oh, up on the 2.
Doyley, that was big time. Nearly made himself a reservation with the paramedics then.
Somebody called service and he bolted through.
The restaurateur from the Pier restaurant in Sydney, that was very lucky indeed. Let's take a look back at it here. He coops a strip big time.
That's one way of making it get round a corner.
Man, very lucky.
Yeah, but it was squeezed for room, made it count.
Rocco and Beachy going at it here.
Well, Rocco's really fired up after yesterday's performance, running side by side with Beachy. Beachy's got the inside running into this right-hander and should prevail.
This will be a great little scrap now between Hunt, who's in the second spot, Park, who's leading, and now the senior statesman, the chairman of the board. And of course, speaking of Peter Lemus, oh, the Witches had a casualty. Doyle takes on Yanis Derhams. Yanis is going to be getting a complex by now. He's been hit more times than Mike Tyson's sparring partner, Boydo.
Oh, black flag for one of the competitors.
I think it might be for grounds.
Yeah, we're being told it's for grounds for jumping the start, so he's sitting there in fourth position at the moment. Will need to come down and do a drive through the pits.
I'm hearing that actually radioing back to the pit now. He's saying, deliver a box of cream-filled pineapple top donuts to the Cairns box now.
Yeah,
might be able to get away with this.
Yeah, better for the commentary box, I think.
The JVC number 4 car still leading as Park. They bounce through the top of the loop and head down. The Cronulla car sound number 4. Hunt all over Park's tail now.
Well, this is what we saw in race 1 of this weekend. Down the inside, Hunt. Does he make it stick this time? Park got cleaned up last time. Protects that line and holds out Troy Hunt.
Well, Hunt shouldn't be short on race practice, should he? He's probably been running karts around the Eastern Creek International Karting Raceway 7 days a week, given that the boss of that circuit, Gary Holt, is his team owner. Back in at third spot, it's still Peter Lemus. We go on board with Greg Doyle, who's been right in the thick of it. We just saw ground slowing up, getting ready for his stop-go. So the bribery didn't work as Rocco off the circuit. The Concourse Smash repairs entry back on the field.
Look at this field streaming down the start-finish straight. Richard Gartner on the inside of Yanis Derhams there.
You see Doyle having a good look at Rocco on the outside. This is big. Gee, Doyle is aggressive,
isn't he today? Somebody's really put a Hessian bag over the top of him and beat him with a bat.
Here comes Richard Gardner right behind him. That's why Doyle's so aggressive. Here comes the Minister for Enthusiasm in the Playtronic number 5.
That's enough motivation for me too, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, Rocco's gone! He's gone! No, he saved it.
Great evasive action by Doyle there.
Oh, look out. Whoa! We got Almond well and truly out of the bowl on this one.
Yeah, just puts a wheel into the dirt.
Gee, the Dragonfly, which one? All of them at one particular juncture. The Dragon Financial car, and also the trouble here, of course, is the son of Ross Almond of the V8 Brute fame. As we take a look back here.
Oh, he's given a big hand too. Bailey's given him one almighty tap and speared him off into no man's land.
How much is it for a left rear indicator light for a Mitsubishi Mirage? Bailey might be getting the bill. Do you see all the glass shattering everywhere?
Yeah.
There's the Donut King's cars trying to come back of Alford. As we see Grant Park from Sydney. Oh, Hunt just decided that corner is mine, and it's mine now.
And pulled the car up perfectly. You were laying odds that he was going to spear off into the Wakefield Park sign, but managed to stop at a great overtaking manoeuvre. Thought Grant Park had his measure there for a while, but look at this. Swapping of fortunes. Troy Hunt now leads.
And Lemus sitting way back in the order here in the Stuart Barland hire car. I say way back in the order, he's in third, but he can't get a piece of this battle between the youngsters. Time for a quick pit stop. We'll be back with the remainder of the race on the other side of the break. Welcome back to Wakefield Park in New South Wales and to round 2 of the Falken Tyres Mitsubishi Mirage car. Good stuff here. Hunt got a bit of an advantage up his sleeve now.
Hasn't scooted off, hasn't disappeared off into the distance like we saw in the previous race 2 last weekend. Brings the car onto the start-finish straight. Grant Park staying relatively close to him. Oh, look at the damage on that car.
Yes, Almond. Might be a crushed Almond at the moment. I think that car is pretty well banged up. But look at this for a battle. Keen Booker's in the middle of it. Yanis is in the middle of it as well. And likewise, the 45 of Brendan Cook in the Porters 45 as they come back to the main straightaway with laps ticking by.
Here comes Keen Booker into this battle onto the back of Cook. Cook's approach to the final turn was put out.
I'm watching the bonnet there of Rocco's car flapping a little bit. One of the pins may have come loose. We'll keep an eye on that, the 89 car.
Scary scenario.
Just have to remind people, as we see Keen Booker in the North Shore Mitsubishi 69, a man who owns the store and runs the store, that this car leading cost $15,000. And let me tell you, that is dirt cheap.
In today's world of motorsport, it's a very cheap way of going out and playing, and look at the fun they're having.
Even if you're running like 13th or 14th, you still get... Look at this. This is a great example of it. The depth is fantastic. As we see, but he's not perturbed.
No, straight around the outside at a part of the racetrack you normally don't see a maneuver like this, and he pays for it too.
3 times from Martin the Builder. He's got the wipers going. That car's going to go home in a shoebox. They're really giving it to him.
Just letting him know he's there.
At the moment, he's thinking, man, am I in my dad's car in the Brutes or am I in a Mirage? You can see the back of Giannis's car pretty well dinged up, and up the inside now comes Porter.
Look at this dice. This is incredible. Ronaldo, right in the middle of a sandwich, gets it
again.
Out onto the dirt again.
Hang on to it, Rocco. Ride that sucker. Down the main straightaway. Laps ticking by. It's Hunt, it's Park, it's Lemus in the top side of things. And the rest of the field, it's chaos. Last lap now for Troy Hunt.
Looks in the revision mirror as he starts to climb up the hill. Sees Grant Park off into the distance. Coming under a bit of pressure from Peter Lemus. The old boy's not done with yet.
No, he's not, but it's getting ever closer. The inevitability of him not being able to nudge himself into the top 2. The Barlin's event hire, number 2 car. Here is your leader. Here looks like your winner, Grant Boyden.
Yes, and what a very deserving one it is too. Troy Hunt brings it up into the final turn for the final time in race 3. Turns through there ever so smoothly, keeping it well and truly on the racetrack. Starts the run down towards the checkered flag. Troy Hunt will take the win and move from 6th to 4th in the Mirage Cup in 2003. Grant Park holds on for 2nd, and the ever-reliable Peter Lemus there in 3rd.
I just wonder, you know, Hunt came into this race in 6th place in the championship. What will this do for his championship run? Take a look at your final placings. Hunt over Park and Lemus, back to Beachy, Francois, the original Dentbuster car, Richard Gardner, Greg Doyle and Giannis Derhams rounding out the top 8. So he wonders what will happen to Peter Lemus's lead. This kid is on a tear. Troy will he be smiling if this kid starts making more runs at his championship lead, and it's inevitable. As we head to Queensland Raceway in just a couple of weeks' time, of course, there'll be more Falken Tyres Mitsubishi Mirage Cup action coming up in weeks ahead. Let's have a look at the points. 115 for Lemus, Park in 2nd, Beachy 3rd, Hunt in 4th. Very much in the championship hunt now. From Gardner, Derhams, Conacher and Grounds, rounding out the top 8. Well, if the racing's even half as good at Queensland Raceway as it was today, Grant Boydo, we are set for a real ding-dong of a battle.
Yeah, nothing between Peter Lemus and Grant Park there, nose to tail on the championship hunt. And Troy Hunt is working his way up the ladder. Stay tuned, it's going to be a great year in 2003.
There'll be more